Hi, I'm Cindy of Cindy's Adventures in Stitching, and not much could pull me away from this fire on a cold January afternoon on a Sunday. But one thing can, and that's stitching in my mobile she shed. Follow me, let's go check it out. This is Sassy, a 1968 Shasta Compact that my husband redid for me, and we've turned it into a mobile stitching she shed. Come inside, it's nice and warm. We've got the fire going. Cheers, and welcome to episode 1 of my YouTube channel on Flosstube. Been wanting to do this for a long time, and I feel as though I've been very lucky. I had a grandmother and a mother that both sewed, crocheted, and did hand embroidery, and so they kind of passed that down to me. And I've been doing cross stitch for, I hate to say it, 40 years. I remember buying floss, a skein of DMC floss, when it was 10 cents a skein on sale, normally 25, but sometimes occasionally it would be marked down to you could get 10 for $1. So some of my equipment that I use is pretty old because it still works for me, and I didn't see a reason to change it. I don't have a lot of WIPS because I think I'm too sequential. I would be that when I was working. I'm retired now, but it was really hard for me to focus on a new project when I was still in the middle of an old project, and I'm still kind of the same way. So I only have 2 WIPS to show you. One of them is actually, I'm trying to be very proactive for Christmas next year. My daughter's last name is Berry, so this is going to be for her. I really doubt that she's watching, so I don't think that'll be a spoiler alert for her. And it's a Scarlet House pattern, and it's called Berry Merry Christmas. And it's going to be a really quick stitch, which for now is probably good. I don't have any focus projects, but that is one thing that I want to start for the year 2023. And then my other WIP is a hands-on design, and it's called Adjust Your Sails. And so here's a picture of the pattern. It's just one page, and then it's got the directions on the back. And this is how far I've gotten along. Now this one is stitched on 28 count Confederate gray cashel linen. I think that's how you say cashel. It might be cashel, I'm not sure. In southern Indiana, it's probably cashel and not cashel. And then the Berry House is stitched on 25 count moss green Lugana. And both of these fabrics came from Fat Quarter Shop. I kind of did a haul. But one thing that I wanted to show you, talking about doing cross stitch for many, many years, I got this magnetic board. Oh gosh, I don't know how old it is. It looks like it's been run over by a car, but it still works great. And honestly, I've not seen one since. So I don't remember where I bought it. My guess is maybe Joann's, but I'm not sure. But I love it because it minds the line. In fact, I think that's what it was called, was a line minder. And then I've got my needle minder up there, and it works great. Another vintage thing that I have, and of course bought originally, was this DMC chart. And you can tell it's pretty frayed, and it's an oldie but a goodie. And it's got all my colors on there. They may have added some, I don't know, but it works fine for me. And if a pattern calls for a color that's not in here, I just wing it. I did have some time before Christmas. You know, we had that horrible storm that kind of paralyzed the country, at least most of the country. And our Christmas plans were postponed for a week because of the horrible weather. We didn't want family traveling. So the snow was flying, the wind was blowing, we had a fire going. I got online and went a little crazy. So before I went shopping online on Etsy, I kind of did an inventory of my patterns and decided or noticed that I didn't have a whole lot of winter patterns. So Brenda Gervais is probably one of my favorite designers. So I got this one. I can't wait to stitch that up. And this, I think it was $20. It's got several patterns in it. So, you know, it's kind of a bargain. but I can't wait to get started on that. I may change the colors a little bit because I don't really have this teal in my um, great room. They're more like cranberries and greens and blues. So I may change that, but that's kind of the fun part of cross stitching. And I thought a lot about Flosstube and cross stitching and why so many people enjoy it. And I think one of the draws is there's no technology involved other than downloading a pattern here or there. It's just basic using your hands and creating something. And I think that's why I like it. It's very soothing. Now, as I've gotten older, I do have to have some more light than I used to. And I've got a new pair of glasses coming in that are like super magnifying so that I can see better. But I've got a light beside my where I usually stitch, and I mean, that's all that I need at this point. But I have decided that if I live to be 150 and my eyes still work and my hands still work, I may never get all this done. But I don't care. It's still fun to buy the patterns. So another pattern that I got was Not Forgotten Farms, and it's called Parson Brown. I really like their patterns as well. I kind of like that primitive look. And then anything that has to do with snow. My husband and I love to ski. And so this is called Snow Day. And this is the first pickle barrel designs that I've ever had or bought. So I'm excited to do that. Here's another hands-on design. And what drew me to this was the way that they have it displayed. It kind of looks like a quilt around it. And I also do quilting. My grandmother was an excellent quilter. And when she passed away, she had 15 grandchildren, and we all got at least one quilt when she passed away. And I remember as a little girl, she had a huge wooden frame, and she did the hand quilting herself. And it would be up from Christmas until it was time to plant the garden. So those are some fun memories. Here's another one. Like I said, I went a little crazy. It's called Fling, and I'm a sucker for hats. I have way too many winter hats. I just think they're cute, and I like to keep my ears warm. So this is by Lou Who Stitches, another first-time buyer of Lou Who Stitches. Then I thought, well, I need to look forward to spring. So this is by Thread Milk Design Company, and it's called For the Bowl series. And I so enjoyed watching all the Flosstube videos. And I heard someone, I don't remember who it was, so I can't credit them. But anyway, they talked about bowl season, and I thought that was really cute because it was, around Christmas and New Year's and football bowls. And instead, we're making things to go in our wooden bowls. And then here's one by Pineberry Lane. It's called Little Shamrocks. And I love the colors of that, and I'll probably use the called for colors. Then here's another winter one by Not Forgotten Farm. And, continuing on with the snow theme, here's another Not Forgotten Farm, and it's called Dirty Snowman, which was really kind of a cute name. And another Not Forgotten Farm, it's called Ho Ho Ho. I'm not sure what Santa has to do with a gardening hoe, but I thought it was really cute. And this one, I have 3 bunnies that will introduce the bunnies on a different video, but if I see a pattern with bunnies, I'm kind of a sucker for it. And that's a whole nother story. Here's Happy Jolly Soul by Brenda Gervais, and it's frosty. And here's Snowbirds by Brenda Gervais. And then here's a Plum Street sampler. I don't have a lot of patterns from Plum Street sampler, but it's another Santa one. See what I mean about I can live to be 150, and if I get them all done, but I think they'll be a quick stitch. Here's Winter Fling, another Lou Who Stitches. Must have been on that website. But I like to choose something other than the few Santa patterns I have. I like to choose something that is something I can keep out all winter. So this is hurry, it's a snow day. Love snow days. I'm an ex-educator, and before the times of having to make up snow days, let me tell you, all the teachers did a snow dance when the forecast, it could just be flurries and we'd be all hoping and praying for a snow day. And this was from Homespun Elegance is the name of the designer. This one's an old one. Actually, I did not get this online before Christmas. It's called Happy Holidays, and it's actually a greeting card, I guess. You can make it into a greeting card. And it is by Rosewood Manor. I don't have a lot of Rosewood Manors. Then here is Love is Patient, Love is Kind with my bunnies. And the last one is Praiseworthy Stitches and Gifts, Oh Holy Night. I thought I've got just the place for that, and I'll probably use the called for colors on that as well. I wanted to also show you, I was watching Lori Holt, and she was doing a cross stitch, or I think it was cross stitch, and she had recommended this. I got it off of Amazon, and I love it. It's got pockets on the side. I've got a little floss ring here, and I've got some of my floss is bound, and some of it isn't with the bobbin. I've got some little snips I can keep in here. I got a pencil that I can mark off in my pattern as I go. This is just an extra one. I should probably try to act like I'm more tidy as I stitch, but this is keeping it real. So this is great. It's got pockets on the back, and then it's got a pocket in here, and I keep my pattern. I can lean it up against where I'm sitting. It goes right in there, and I really like it. It fits in this basket just great, and I can carry it with me from the basement to the upstairs. And if I am in a situation where I don't have a lot of light, I sometimes wear this headlight. I might look goofy, but I don't care because I need that extra light. And when we go camping, I always take my stitching with me because, you know, you have a little downtime in the campsite, and it's relaxing. It's part of the enjoyment of stitching, I think. So I do have some finishes. This actually is an old one that I had done when my kids were younger. Kind of pretended that was my son and my daughter, and I can't tell you the name of the pattern because it's so old. I don't have any idea. I don't know if it's still in print or not. And then this one is a finish. I turned it into a pillow, and it's called Christmas Cove, and it is by the Bay Needleheart. And I stuffed the pillow, and then instead of doing a blind stitch like on the bottom of my pillow, I just sliced a hole in the back of it, and then I covered it with a big piece of wool, and that way I don't have any blind seams. So I think I will probably always do that if I'm stitching a pillow or deciding to finish it off as a pillow. And then I've got some finishes that are not completely done. This is called, again with the rabbits, it's called Spring Delivery, and it's by Scattered Seed Samplers. And this is on Lugana. I kind of think I like 25 count Lugana the best to stitch on because it's not super small. Ladies who can do their stitching on like 40 count, oh my gosh, I tried it one time. I thought my eyes were going to go crossed. So I'm not going to do that anymore. And then this one is kind of goes along with it, and it's also on that moss green 25 count Lugana, and it's Spring Gathering by the same company, Scattered Seed, Scattered Seed Sampler. And I kind of wish I'd made them the same color, but that's okay if they're not. And then this was a free pattern. I had kind of taken a break from cross stitch when my kids were growing up and they were in athletics, and I just didn't have time. And so when they grew up, I saw this free pattern somewhere. I don't remember what it was in, so I need to do something with that. But it's kind of on, I think it's on Ada, probably 14 or 16 count. So it was a quick stitch because it was so fast. It just went so fast with the Ada cloth. And then I've got one more. It's Thanksgiving that I need to get finished, and I don't have that pattern with me. But I know that you can still get this because I've seen it in on Etsy. And also wanted to give a shout out to magazine that I subscribe to, the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. It's great. If you don't have it, don't subscribe to it. I would recommend it. It's got a lot of patterns in it, and it also has designers that maybe I haven't heard of before. So it kind of features new people, and then it's got, you know, your basic your favorites also. So like there's a Plum Street sampler in here pattern, just really cute. And oh, I'm a fangirl of Stephanie Webb of Lindy Stitches. We're both Hoosiers, and it's got a pattern of her. I don't know if that's her dog or not. I'm not sure about that, but I think I could easily be a stalker of hers. Wanted to show you that I've made a couple project bags, and this is the jumbo size, and the pattern is a pattern by Annie, and it's a project bag 2.0. And you can even watch a YouTube of a gal that does, the name of her channel is Okla Roots, and she does a step-by-step. And I hate to admit this, but I have really grown to depend on YouTube to show me how to do things. But I love this. And then I wanted to show you too. I got a charm on here. My husband took me to Missouri Star, and I've got a charm that they just gave me because I spend so much money on fabric that says finish. Your husband's video. I thought my husband's here. That's okay. He knows. It says finished is better than perfect, and I could not agree more. I definitely think that's true. And then I've got another one here. It's almost done. I got to get the handle and the bindings on it, but it's in Christmas fabric, and it's another jumbo size. They go together pretty quickly. I don't have a charm on it yet, but they're great. And you know, I'm hoping that I'll do like include some English paper piecing. I started this English paper piecing during COVID, which is kind of bad memories about that. So, but anyway, I did all of them that I've got done during COVID, and talk about a labor of love. Wow, that. But there again, it's relaxing while you're doing it. You just realize, dang, this could take a long time to finish, but that's okay. I got plenty of time. So, this channel will be about cross stitching. I'll include some English paper piecing, some punch needle, a little bit of quilting, and a little bit of wool applique. But I will always do that at the end. That way, if that's not your interest, you won't be bored, or like if I do it at the beginning, you won't click and disappear. Every woman needs a place to get away and be by herself. And that's kind of the purpose of my mobile stitching she shed. We made it our own. I made the curtains. I did the cushions. I picked out what I liked as fabric, picked out the paint colors. And if you want to see more of the renovation or what we did to the camper, because my husband took it down to the skins, down to the bare wood, and we did the whole thing. We have another channel called The Adventures of the Memory Maker. I like it so much, I got it on my shirt. And this phrase, dull women have immaculate houses, is absolutely not to be a put down to people that have clean houses, because I try to keep my house clean too. But boy, if there's a time I can go and have fun instead of cleaning my house, you better believe I'm going to be out the door and going to have some fun. So I could be that person that sticks at home and just cleans, but that's not me. And stitching is such a good thing to do to calm your mind, calm your spirit, get something done. And this provides me a place to do that. It's nice and warm and it's bright, and I just love it very, very much. So check out our other channel and see if there's something that might interest you there. We'll have a link at the bottom in the description. And I think our next video is going to be a road trip to Cranberry Bog in Terre Haute, Indiana, which is a la A Christmas Story. Ralphie talks about being near Terre Haute. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed making it, and I want to thank my husband for being so supportive. He's such a good guy. We'll see you soon. We are going to definitely go to Cranberry Bog, and I hope you'll come back to watch that. And happy stitching.